Welcome back to my workshop. So today's the day. I'm going to start the build of the shed in the garden. I've already done the base, which you can see in this video here, where I use a cement mixer for the first time. So the concrete base is down. Now I need to start making the base for the shed. Now let me quickly draw you my rough plan. I don't have anything in writing. I haven't done any super duper SketchUp mock-up of this thing. I'm making it up as I go along. But what I'll do is I'll quickly draw you roughly what I think I'm going to do. Okay, so what I have is my concrete base at the moment, which is like this. Okay, and at the moment this is 16 foot by 9 foot. Okay, that's how big it is. It's in feet. This is a problem because the actual shed is going to be in metric, but the base is going to be in imperial. Now my idea is I'm going to make a wooden frame out of 2x2 battens. Okay, and that's going to basically go along here like this, like this. Okay, so an exterior frame, and then I'm going to have additional 2x2s going across here like this, and then I'm going to have sheets of 18mm OSB on top. That's the basic idea. So the first thing I've got to do is make some material that's 14 foot long, because the actual shed is going to be 14 foot long. So from there to there is going to be 14 foot, and this way it's going to be 8 foot. Okay, so I need pieces of wood that long, 14 foot, but the bits I've got are 2.4 meters. So I'm going to do some strange half lap joint just to get two long battens 14 foot. Let me show you what that looks like in real life. Okay, so this is what I've got at the moment. This is obviously my concrete base, so that's 16 foot long by 9 foot. These are my battens that I'm going to be using. Now obviously I need one piece goes from there 14 foot up to there. So this joint here I'm going to do a dodgy half lap joint. Okay, then there'll be these cross braces. Okay, so it fits a sheet of OSB. Now what I'm going to do is try and bridge each sheet with a single batten, and also across the middle here there's going to be extra supports. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the reclaimed timber from the old shed for the cross battens. Okay, so first thing, let's make two of these 14 foot long. So my cross bands are 2.4 meters long, and I need, from the very front to the very back, I need it to be 8 foot. So what I've got to do is I'm going to take off the thickness of the front and the back from 8 foot on my piece of wood. Okay, just measuring it roughly. And that gives me 235. I'll cut them that length, cut them all the same, and it should be square, 8 foot by 14 foot. Right, so that's the very outer frame now screwed together. No special joints, just butt joints. What we've got to do now is get the battens in the right place ready to accept the sheets of OSB. Right, so that's the outer frame done and the cross brace is done. Now if you look, this one, this is 4 foot, this is only 2 foot, this one's 4 foot and the last one's 4 foot. That makes up my total of 14 foot. These bits here, now this is from the old shed, which you've probably seen in my previous video. This is where these come into play. I now want to put cross braces across all of these gaps, otherwise the floor is going to be a bit springy. Okay, so I'm going to use all these, which didn't cost me anything because they're from the old shed. And I'm going to put in as many cross braces everywhere I can. Okay, so first things first, measure this, cut these, screw them in. And it's hot. Right, so that's the basic framework done now. Before we put the OSB on the top, I want to do something special to try and isolate the base from the actual OSB. What we'll do is we'll go in the workshop and I'll show you what my plan is. Right, so we're back in the workshop now, which is quite a relief because it's so hot and humid outside, it's becoming hard to work. But we're in the workshop now. I've done a little mock-up of what I want to try and achieve to isolate the actual base from the OSB. I've got it on the bench, let me show you. Right, so here's my little mock-up. This is what I've got the frame made out of. Now obviously it's going to be sitting directly on a concrete base. I want to insulate between the concrete base and here, but before I do that I want to get the OSB on the top. Now obviously if I just put the OSB on the top like this, okay, if water seeps into here, it's going to go into here, this is going to get destroyed, and I'm going to end up falling through the bottom of the shed. So what I want to do is I want to put a layer here, and what I'm going to use, it's this stuff. It's called SOS repair tape, and basically it's a bitumen tape. I got this from Lidl's, I think it was, a few weeks ago, before I even realised I needed it. This was about a £5 a roll, and it's a massive great roll, and don't put it down because it's sticky. It's very sticky. Now I haven't even opened this yet, but basically what I want to do is put a layer of this on top of the base and then put the OSB on top. So let's try it and see if that's going to work. Right, well that looks excellent. I mean, it's basically giving it a rubber coating. Let's see if I can get this in focus for you. Yeah, it's basically giving it a rubber coating. So I'm hoping when this goes on here, let's screw it down and see how good it looks. Right, I'm happy with that. Right, well that looks like that's going to work. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. What I've got to do now is obviously take my rolls out to the framework, cover all the top with that stuff. I probably won't have enough to do underneath. I want to do something different with that. Okay, so yeah, it might be a good solution. Right, well, I've used the first couple of rolls of that tape and I'm so impressed. I went out and bought some more. That'll last me. So the tape is now all on this. Next stage is to actually get a sheet of OSB on it. The OSB is over there. But luckily, I know a good rope trick. Just going to get a sheet. Right, this is where you find out how square the base actually is. We're assuming that this OSB is square. What I'm going to do is line up the front, put some screws in this, and then move the base that way because it's out by about 10 mil. So let's put a couple of screws in here. Right, so I've just got this section in the middle to put in. I did have this piece of board, which I was donated very kindly. He told me it was 2 foot wide. I've made this 2 foot wide. This is not 2 foot wide. So now I've got to cut another piece to go in here. So I'm going to use my track saw for that. So let's get making some noise. Right, so now the base is done, the top is on. Next bit is the interesting bit. I've got to try and lift this up so I can then do the bottom. Don't know how I'm going to do that. Let's have a go. Right, so I finally admitted defeat. I couldn't lift it, it was too heavy, it was too hot, and I was too weak. So with the help of Daniel, we managed to lift it up. We managed to tape up all the bottom of the floor with some more bitumen tape. And then I got my spray gun out again, and I give it a coat of spray. And then 2 of us could put it down. It's so much easier with 2 people. Right, there you go. Right, so that's it. Today has been a good day. We managed to get this all done, or I managed to get this done in one day. It's all the base done, all the frame done, all the OSB laid, all sealed underneath. It's now ready for the walls to go up. Okay, so that'll be the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.